afternoon, everyone. Let's do that one more time. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's great to see you all. I'm Mark Wallace. I'm president and CEO of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, and this is such an exciting moment. I just want to welcome you all here today for joining us. The Detroit Riverfront Conservancy was launched in 2003, and ever since then, we've been working hard to transform the Detroit Riverfront into a really special place. The people of Detroit love the riverfront, and every year we see more than 3 million visitors, which is amazing. Earlier this year, Detroit Riverfront was named the best river walk in the United States by USA Today's readers. And the Detroit Riverfront would not exist without the leadership of the City of Detroit, which joined the Kresge Foundation and General Motors to make this work possible. Mayor Duggan's team in particular has rapidly accelerated the East Riverfront's transformation. Under his leadership, we've opened up Robert C. Villade Park, and we're well on our way to completing the Riverwalk connection over the Uniroyal site that will help Detroiters get from Belle Isle all the way to downtown on foot without ever having to hop into their cars. But it hasn't always been easy to get to the riverfront. And in 2017, the city and the Conservancy worked together to develop the East Riverfront Framework Plan. We did this with a tremendous amount of input from the community, and one of the clear messages that we heard is this: people who live on the east side wanted it to be just a little bit easier to get down to the riverfront. The city took that mission and they ran with it. And today we're here to celebrate the incredible transformation of this Greenway. People who live on the east side now have a direct physical connection to the riverfront, and I want to express my deep gratitude to Mayor Duggan and his team for making this happen. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the mayor of the city of Detroit, Mike Duggan, so he can tell you about the very special announcement here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Duggan.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark. And this is a day that is long overdue. It's hard to believe that Mayor Dennis Archer has now been out of office for 20 years, but the people of this city are continuing to enjoy the benefits of his efforts. And those of us here remember, he started the trend of major employers coming back to the city of Detroit with CompuWare and the building of the building that's now occupied by Quicken. He got the Detroit Lions to come back from Oakland County and put their future here in the city, was responsible for the building of the casinos, which remain a major employment and financial base for this city. And I was the prosecutor, and I was there one day in the summer of 2001 when Mayor Archer announced that he was going to have a 300th birthday celebration, made Edsel Ford the chair of the birthday committee for the city of Detroit, and said they were going to start with a river walk. And we all looked at each other, because where are you going to put a river walk? The riverfront was nothing but industrial commercial space. The idea of a river walk was pretty visionary, and it's hard to imagine 20 years later, as Mark just indicated, USA Today now says we have the finest river walk in America. Think about that as an accomplishment. So as we decided and talked about what should we name this really important connection, all I could think about was this. When Dennis Archer was mayor, he served this city for 8 years with honor and integrity. And the one thing that he always did was unify the city, bring it together. He represented every corner of the city. And here we have a 1.2-mile greenway that is going to connect the riverfront to the neighborhoods, to the Coleman Young Recreation Center, named for Dennis Archer's predecessor. And I thought, we have now permanently connected Detroiters to the riverfront. And Dennis Archer's will be remembered because people will get there by going down the Mayor Dennis W. Archer Greenway, and we're dedicating it today. Congratulations, Mayor Archer.
This is great. Thank you very much. Let me begin by thanking the mayor and City Council for approving his recommendation. The morning after I announced my candidacy for the office of mayor, I left and began to drive over to the east side on Lakeview. And I started knocking on doors and introducing myself and saying, "Good morning, my name is Dennis Archer. I just announced my candidacy for the office of mayor." And I walked all over the city, east side, west side, southwest Detroit, everywhere. And everywhere that I saw young people playing basketball, generally with a backboard up against a tree that they would have to yank down or would be told to yank down by the police department. After I was elected, Bill Davison, the owner of the Detroit Pistons at the time, and Bob Sosnick and several others came and said, "Let's have breakfast." And I said, "Fine." They said, "What would you like us to do?" I said, "We have some parks that need to be upgraded. It would be really nice if you could do something to help us do that." And that's what they initiated. They built the first three or rebuilt the first three, and then they reached out and got the other businesses to join in and do a park. And then as we got into the second term, my staff with Gloria Robinson, David Smidra, Nettie Seabrooks, Tina Deutsch, Maud Lyon, Freeman Hendricks, Phyllis James, and Judith McNeely, we were trying to determine what it is we should do to celebrate our 300th anniversary. We had a lot of help outside from Robert Larson and also someone else, and Katie Beebe, and also someone who was the CEO of Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, Beth Duncombe. We came up with two ideas. They did. One was campus marches, and the other was a riverfront walk. And the wisest thing that one could have done was to reach out to find someone who could make all of this happen and raise funds to make this happen. And I went to Edsel Ford, and he said yes. I asked Maud Lyon, who's the head of the Historical Museum, Detroit Historical Museum, and asked her to work with Edsel to raise the money to create this vision for the 300th anniversary of our city. And boy, did they ever pull it off. With the Campus Marches Park, which got a national award, and as was mentioned by Mark, with the now Riverwalk that has been totally enhanced by Matt Cullen and Wallace and all of them making this happen, it has made a big difference. And I will tell you, it is important to me because I enjoy walking. I started walking when I moved from Detroit at the age of 5 to Cassopolis, and it took me 1.5 miles to walk to my elementary school and high school, etc., all in the same location. And when I came back, I got real busy and didn't pay much attention to exercise and the like. But David Robinson, who was my law partner at the time, suggested, "Why don't you run?" And so he said, I'll run with you. And that's what you really need. And so I started running. And I ran 3 miles. And that's what I've been doing. And then I kept busy, and then Dave got busy, but then Dr. Charles Ennis, who's our family's pediatrician for Denny and Vincent, he ran with me. And then I will tell you, 2005 to the year 2005, I gave up running for walking because I didn't want to give my knees to any kind of surgeon. I wanted to be able to walk. And so I will tell you, this means so much to all of us. I have with me my family who was here. My wife, Trudy, 54 years. My sister-in-law, Beth. Our oldest son, Dennis, who's here. I'm better known today as Dennis's father rather than the former mayor. But Dennis Archer, a junior, Robbie, Dennis Wayne Archer the third, and Chase Alexander Archer, our 2 grandsons. I want to thank you very much for being here. And everybody who's here is really close to us and to this city. When I walk, it gives me my opportunity to offer prayer for our city, to think about issues that are confronting us, and trying to find solutions, whether it's what I want to say or what I want to do or what I want to work on. And to be able to walk in a greenway such as this, it's awfully peaceful. And Mr. Mayor, you could not have named something better for me than this greenway, because it's peaceful, it brings the communities together. We've got a representative here from the community who is sharing with us that everybody's pleased with what you are doing with the park and what you're doing with the walkway and the like. And so I want you to know I look forward to returning many times, but especially on August 19th, which is something I think you're going to talk about later. But let me thank all of you and thank Denny's business partners and Buzzy Thomas, who grew up with Denny. And I mean, if I name it, I have to name everybody. But thank you, and thanks Tom Goss, Derek, and everybody. Hiram, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Mayor Archer, and thank you for all that you've done for the city of Detroit and for its residents. I now have the pleasure to introduce Donald Rencher, Group Executive of Housing, Planning, and Development for the city of Detroit, whose teams have played a key role in making this greenway possible. Donald.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the claps. I appreciate that. So, no, I just want to say I feel honored to be here standing next to these distinguished gentlemen. Also, Mark. Don't want to leave you out. Love you too, man. Just want to start off with the thank yous for other people that made this happen. Of course, the Riverfront Conservancy, as you see that Mark had a couple of comments to say too. I want to give a special shout out to Betsy Palazzola and also Katie Trudeau for the planning department and the housing department who helped fund and plan the space, but most importantly, connected with the residents, right? Because we want to make sure our residents love what we're doing as well. So the biggest shout out I want to give to the Ralph Bunch Co-op for being here from the beginning and giving us your thoughts about how this space looks. And so I appreciate that. And so, again, when I look at this greenway, I look at it as something about not just a greenway, but equity, right? This is about access, using the built environment so people have the ability to access our greatest resources besides our City of Detroit residents. And I'm just extremely proud of our team coming together with GSD and DW and DPW to make this happen. And I hope, Mayor Archer, that this greenway serves you well and is an amazing story for you and your family and your legacy here for the City of Detroit. I appreciate the love and the gratitude that you have for our city, and I just can't be more proud of this particular moment. But thank you to all of you all to be here today, and I look forward to the kickoff celebration later, where we can involve all of our residents, and you'll be invited, of course, and we want to make sure you're the special guest of honor. But again, thank you all for being here again, and I think that's all I would like to say. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Donald. Thank you, Donald. Thank you, Mayor Duggan. Thank you, Mayor Archer. As has been mentioned, there will be a community celebration of this space on August 19th. We'd encourage you to stay tuned for more information about that. It's truly an exciting time in the city of Detroit. I look forward to seeing you all on the Mayor Dennis W. Archer Greenway in the future. There are bottles of water over by the call box here if someone needs those. And that concludes the program today. Thank you.